Okay, hello everyone to whoever's watching this interview, whether it's on our website or YouTube or whatever channel you found us. You're with Noor here. I run the operations side of EasyGrow, and you're with us for another client interview. Today, I have the pleasure of interviewing Elijah, who's actually one of our youngest clients, and he's done really, really well with the program. And yeah, excited to share a story with you. Elijah, we spoke just before this. Appreciate you taking your time here. Why don't you tell the people watching who you are, who you serve, and what you do?
Yeah, so my name is Elijah Kim. My brother and I run an agency together. His name's Matthew. He's also in the program. Been about, I'd say over 7, 8 months or so since we've like kind of officially became an agency. We had the company before, but we honed in on we work with roofing companies to help them generate more leads and appointments. And yeah, kind of ever since we joined the program, we got super clear on actually giving our business some like infrastructure and actual systems to be put in place. And that's kind of when we actually became an official business. So yeah, ever since then, we've just been growing the agency since, I guess.
Yeah, good stuff. And to paint a picture for the people watching this, Elijah, um, where were you at, before the program compared to where you are at now in terms of revenue and in terms of your general situation?
Yeah, I was at complete zero. Like literally, I didn't know anything about Facebook ads or business or none. I had no high value skills. Was quite lost actually. I was um still in high school. And I contemplated for a long time that I wanted to sort of take myself out and get out and become homeschooled, but I never really had uh a set of skills and an actual proven a source of income and an actual real business to sort of prove to my parents mostly that I wanted to actually like take the risk and strive for my dreams, right? But I was like we had the business before our company, but we didn't really know what we're doing. Like we're just floating around SMMA YouTube, just trying to figure it out, but we never really had that infrastructure. And yeah, kind of basically through the program we've actually developed the skills to be able to build something actually sustainable, you can say.
Yeah, good stuff. So prior to the program, just to paint everyone an audience, Elijah was obviously in high school, um, making no money with the agency, trying to get some income, get out of high school, whatever. And he entered with zero experience. Fast forward today, Elijah, if you can let the viewers know where you're at with your agency revenue wise, as well as your life situation where to do with high school and also your mum, your brother, it'd be amazing for them to know the actual transformation that occurred here.
Yeah, definitely. So fast forward to today, um which is like 8 months I think so far since I joined the program. I've developed, like, in terms of revenue, we're about like 10 to 11K a month in revenue. And that's like just beginning. We work on a pay on appointment model, so we still have clients to launch and stuff. So that number is going to grow. And of course, signing more clients in the next few months as well. But in terms of like me and how my situation changed, like, man, if I didn't, I don't really know where I'd be if I didn't have some sort of like coaching, sort of like an actual set of systems. Like I said, the program, I feel like it was more of like it helped me get to 10K per month, but it allowed me to become the person who was capable of getting 10K per month, right? It's the character thing. And I think that's sort of what I've developed is, the skills, the fighting resistance, overcoming, um actually growing into a new person and overcoming my current self, and sort of that battle that I had to fight like for 8 months straight, you know? I think that's sort of why I am where I am today. And like, I think that's the most desired result is actually becoming the person first before, like, it's never the goal. You should become the person first and achieve the character instead of trying to get some monetary number or whatever the goal is. So that's kind of where I'm at, I
Yeah,
think.
exactly that, man. And yeah, I love it. I've seen firsthand your sort of progression in the program, not just from a revenue standpoint, but like you said, the character and identity standpoint. It's amazing to see firsthand the transformation, and we're definitely gonna get to that. So, um, now you're with the business, 11K per month. You dropped out of high school. Uh, just to sort of embed this into the mind of the video viewers, how old are you? Obviously, I know, but let them know.
I'm 17, just turned 17 and 2 months ago, January.
So you just turned 17 2 months ago. Uh, that's amazing. Dropped out of high school, 11K per month with the business, working with his brother, working with your mum as well, right?
Yep.
Um, and it's amazing to have achieved this at 17 with pretty much little to no experience. So yeah, good stuff, Elijah. And you know, in terms of how you approach the program, man, just talk to me how it looked like when you first joined and how you sort of progressed through it. Like, what did you essentially go through and how did you approach everything? Because there's a lot to take in.
Yeah, definitely. So I remember I want to pull up the thing here just so I have a refresher. So I remember like when I first joined the program, I took like the first week to watch the foundation modules, acquisition genesis, and then the next week it was just like self-transcendence, you know. I just took the time. I took a notebook and pen and just like took notes on the program for like a week. That's kind of where I started. And then I just got straight into the outbound systems. I originally implemented the Loom cold email system that you guys developed. But I kind of like we didn't see like that just we just didn't see that work until we got into cold calling. And then like cold calling is what we really found to work in our niche, and then we just kind of doubled down on that. And yeah, I think, and then also the sale, I forgot to mention the sales process. Like I literally didn't even know like how to sell whatsoever. So I think watching those modules as well to develop the actual sales process, it helped give a backbone. But yeah, that's kind of where I started, just like foundations and building the systems. Um, but I guess like over time, more of the coaching, obviously, like the coaching calls, I tried to get as much feedback as I can with what I was currently doing. The service delivery stuff, I was actually getting clients, watching those modules, trying to get better at, Facebook ads, stuff like that. So that's kind of where I'm at now. I'm just trying to develop my skills.
Yeah, good stuff, man. Never stop learning. What specifically did you love about the program? Obviously, there's probably, a couple of things you like, right? But were there any standout features of the program that you really, really love? Like the coaching course, for example, like a specific module. What were the things that really, made it like a massive game changer for you?
I think the first two modules, the
Mhm.
foundation ones, acquisition genesis, and so it literally
Yeah,
it's the foundation to my current paradigm of just business and life in general. I think, and it's just so well structured as well. Like I don't think there's anything else like it on the market. Like it's Charlie just done such a good job. I think that the foundation modules is one lever, and then also the coaching, specifically like service delivery coaching with like Uncle Jimmy um and also sales, a little bit of the sales coaching calls. But I think mainly it was actually the modules that developed my paradigm and actually teach me how to think.
that's it.
And
I was waiting for
yeah,
that one. Yeah.
yeah, how to think and not what to think.
Yeah, perfect. Great stuff, man. Yeah, because I think, and this is a common theme that I see with a lot of the success stories that we've got here, they're able to think for themselves pretty much because with most programs, what tends to happen with a lot of the students is they fall prey to shiny object syndrome. And you can speak firsthand to this, Elijah, where it's like, oh, um, oh, I just need this outreach system. I need that outreach system. I need that outreach system. But when you shift your paradigm and you're able to understand how things work, why things work this way, and you're able to actually think for yourself, you can start developing your own systems, to which I'm sure you've probably done because your niche is different from other niches and you may need to do things in a specific way. And that's so powerful because regardless of what software changes occur, platform changes occur, or whatever it may be, because you can think for yourself now and you know how things work, you're able to be fluid and you're able to adapt. So really good stuff on that end. And when did it sort of click for you, Elijah, that you had something here? When was the light bulb moment where it's like, oh, like we got something here. This is, working, and we're starting to see success.
Mm, light bulb moment. I think it was when I was actually starting to sign clients and my mom, so like I still live with my mom and she sees what I do day to day and I tell her about it. And she finally started to see results because for so long I was just a talker. I was like, I'm gonna retire you one day, I'm gonna make so much money, I'm gonna become a millionaire. And it wasn't until I actually did the actions and went through the pain and actually started to sign clients and make my first couple of $1,000 until like I was like, oh my, this is the an actual business. And then also, I would say it was in January when like I think my brother Matthew, he's developed like so much as well throughout the program, and he like Matt and I sort of since the start of the year, like we started to lock in. Like we just realized we share a vision, we share the same goals or similar goals for at least the business side, and we're now like really on the same page. And at that point, because now we're just so confident that we can scale 50 to 100K per month. We just need to do the correct inputs and improvements every day. And I think Matt had a big part of my confidence as well of like this is it. Like I'm literally going all in on this, nothing but the business for the next like 2 years until I become an adult. And then I'm actually financially free, you could say, but actually like being able to support myself. Um, so I guess I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, it's killer stuff, man, and it's quite scary because I'm looking at 17-year-old me. I'm 25 now, so when I was 17, I didn't have a job till I was 18. So now you're 17, making 11K per month, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing what the internet does and the opportunities that are there for people to take. So yeah, good stuff, man. And Elijah, I want to know, because obviously I've seen your growth firsthand, and naturally you face some struggles, problems, getting used to sales calls, service delivery, and all of that stuff. And I just see you just constantly, go at it, go at it, go at it, go at it. And now you're in this position. What were some of the struggles that you faced? And, how did you use the program to sort of overcome those struggles? Because, often on these interviews, we talk about success and the wins, and that's the fun side. But I really want everyone that's watching this to get the real, perspective from your end, because it's not all, sunshine and rainbows, right? You would have had your struggles. It'd be great to know from your perspective some of those problems you faced and how you overcame them.
I'd say the single greatest obstacle, it can be simplified into a concept, right, that Charlie teaches. It's the only thing that's stopping you from getting to achieve your goals. It's one thing, it's one force, and that it's your current self. It's your current identities, your current skill sets, it's that voice in your head that just wants to keep you where you currently are. And Nora, I have to fight that voice every single day. Every single day. It never goes away. This is the thing. Like you can't really defeat it forever because as always when you set a goal, that voice will come and try to keep you where you're at. I'd say that's the greatest thing. Like I could say it's the sales calls like, oh, I'm so scared of taking my first one, or oh, I have to deal with this client, and their leads. And to an extent it is that, but I think that stems from just my current self not wanting to change and actually not even just like put in the work, but it knows you best. Like it's not just like a work ethic thing or like, oh, you just got to do it. Like it's manipulative. Like Charlie says, it just has so many different forms to try to lure you into just staying the same. Like for me, from my personal experience, I always had I'm facing this probably like currently, like recently with the business. It's paralysis by analysis and sort of trying to over perfect things before I take action. Like I guess I'm trying to not be the type, but I was the type to sort of just try to make sure the product's perfect before I sign more clients, or like, oh, I got to make sure this client's situated and perfectly happy before I move on. And that is not a great way to solve problems because the only way, truly way for you to solve, I think, in my opinion, to solve problems is first to fail at it and then you learn from that mistake or you learn from someone else. Like you could learn from a lesson from someone else who made the same mistake. But I was trying for so long to just not fail in the first place and not to make any mistakes, right? But the question shouldn't be, oh, how can I not fail? It's how can I fail as much as possible and then learn from that failure. So I don't know if I could show you on my wall right here. I do this a lot, by the way. Whenever I have like it's blurred, but whenever I have like just something I need to internalize, I write it down on a piece of paper, put it on my wall, and then now I look at it every day. And what it says right here, it says, I am always taking imperfect action. I have the courage to fail. And then below that's how can I fail as much as possible? I'm just gonna repeat that over. I literally can't escape the wisdom by just looking at it. And yeah, that helps. I think in my opinion, that helps like trying to develop a new paradigm or mindset shift is just like look at it on your wall every day. But anyways, yeah, I think the big greatest struggle was to just tell my current self to stop and to like go away. Um, I would say that's like the single greatest obstacle that I faced throughout the program in its entirety.
Yeah, love it, man. Love it. Yeah, what you said is gold because I think people, even students of the program, right, let alone people that, are thinking of joining, they think that they're going to get everything and there's no problems whatsoever. And it's like, guys, I promise you, we can provide you with everything. Like Elijah, you'll say this firsthand. We'll give you the strategies, the coaching calls, the mindset modules, the paradigm shifts, and all of those things. Failure is inevitable, and it's a good thing. Okay. And as cheesy as the saying sounds, right? It's you're not losing, you're learning. And that's what happened to you, Elijah, where it's like every failure, you're learning something new, you're learning something new, you're refining things, and now you're in the position you are in now. And even at the scale you're at, right? New problems will come, and that's just part and parcel of the game. So I love how you mentioned it's not necessarily you know, um, specific solutions that were worth mentioning here. It's more so the paradigm shift you have where it's just taking action and not letting those failures be this massive, daunting, definitive thing. It's just a
Yeah.
lesson for you to take on board and level up. It's almost like a video game. And that's something that every company goes through, even our company, for example, right? We still make mistakes and it's fantastic. Like we're learning something new. It allows us to systemize things, improve and get even better. So yeah, really good stuff, man. And I want to speak a bit more about your identity shift, man, because I know you're heavily leaning, towards that being the main focal point of your success. And I just want to touch on that because most people they just assume tactics strategies is going to get me to where I need to get to, when in reality, they need to revamp their mind, their habits, and their belief system and their paradigm to really operate in alignment with who they need to be in order to achieve the success they need to achieve. So, Elijah, my question to you is, how does Elijah version one that joined the program look compared to the Elijah version two now? Like, what does it look like? You know, how have things changed for you from a personal standpoint?
Well, first, I don't think it's a version one, version two. I think it's a version one, then like version two, and then version three. I think I'm
Yeah,
like
yeah.
somewhere between version three or version four at this point because I've changed a lot. But like in terms of you're wanting to know like what version one of me didn't have
Yeah.
that version
How
now.
exactly? Yeah. How did that version that joined when you first joined the program look like this current Elijah I'm seeing now? What habits did you pick up? You know, how did you change your behavior, the belief system that you have now?
Mm,
What did your limiting beliefs look like? Just how do things look from an identity standpoint?
yeah, I think I had a lot of limiting beliefs when um like when of course when you're beginning you're always gonna have like oh, there's not enough leads to call. Like I can't book appointments in the sales. Like I don't think it's that for me. Like eventually when I got the reps in, I just developed belief in myself that I could do those things. But I think the greatest like character trait difference. Um, I know it's gonna sound a little bit cheesy, but I think it's just like plain outright discipline. Um, One habit that I've developed took me a long time to do is take consistent cold showers every morning. And I've only started doing it consistently in like December. I haven't missed a day since. But that's the thing. Like I haven't missed a day since, but there were so many times when I was like literally about like I have to wake up from my bed 5 a.m. in the morning, then go into my cold shower over there within 5 minutes, like within 5 to 10 minutes. Like that's just the timeline. I have to get in and I'm like half asleep and I'm like I just want to go back to bed. My whole mind just like you're tired, you should go back to bed. I think by disciplining myself every single day helped me develop like the little habit of just doing the thing, like telling my body to do the thing despite how I feel like it. And it's in other little things as well, like going to the gym, showing up every day, doing other habits like meditating, journaling, things like that. And like I'm still working on it, to be honest. Like I'm not consistent every day, going to bed on time or even waking up within 5 minutes going to the cold shower. Like I still struggle. And I think it's an ongoing thing, but I think the more I was consistent at disciplining myself, like the more I was consistently um taking action, you could say, despite what the quote unquote consequences might be or how I feel like it. I think that's a big trait and big lever that I'm currently different than I was. And then also just like the hard skills like sales, marketing, business, psychology, um, and just my paradigms around that. I'd say that that's kind of the obvious, but um, yeah, I would say those are the main differences.
Yeah, good stuff, man. And another thing I want to ask, like you've obviously had this identity shift that's helped enhance your self-image, right? Where you can approach calls with confidence and all of, deliver the service, sign clients, and all of that good stuff. Typically, a common question in this space is, oh, why would clients take me seriously? I'm only 17 years old, right? What would you say to those individuals? Because like you're 17 and it doesn't seem to have stopped you. So like how did you sort of approach that um limiting belief, if you even had that limiting belief to begin with?
I don't think I had like no, I didn't start with that, man. I was just if you think that you can't
Yeah, yeah,
make money despite your like we literally just have to look at people like Cameron England, he's 17,
yeah.
he's making
That's
$95,000 a month. Like that's literal proof for yourself to just completely shatter that belief. So I would just look at proof that it is possible and people can take you seriously, but it's just the identity thing again. It's like, yeah, why would you think that
yeah,
you can't make or like yeah, prospects might judge you for your age when there's literally 17-year-olds making like over seven figures per year. Like,
exactly. It's like, and you're now proof of that as well, where you're at 11K per month. You got that six-figure
yeah.
point there. And yeah, it comes back to the identity point again, which a lot of, if you think that's a problem, it's going to be a problem. Because then you're approaching your sales calls in fear, you know, guard up and all of these things. Whereas in your perspective and every other 17-year-old out there, you're just approaching it like a normal call with full confidence. So if you're able to actually help someone deliver a transformation, it doesn't matter what age you are, as long as you can get the job done.
Mhm.
And it's important because, you're 17, and if people say, "Oh, you're just a kid," it's like, what does that matter? Like, look at my results. I can deliver you what you actually need here.
Mhm.
Like age is just non-existent when it comes to, you know, delivering a good service. So yeah, really good stuff, man. Um, Typically, with business owners, Elijah, they tend to be, and you know this firsthand because again, I know how locked in you are. You're always joining the calls and stuff. Um, you're always moving forward. You're always accelerating, and you barely take a moment to pause. Have you taken a moment to just take a deep breath and look at how life is now, compared to how it was before? And yeah, just walk me through that if you've managed to do that, because it'd be great to hear your perspective on how, your personal life may have changed, from when you first joined to how it is now.
I'd say I do take the time to reflect and to, I guess, explore just personal development. But so the question was like how like my personal life is like affecting my business, or what was the
No, no,
question?
how's life changed pretty much? Like, have you managed to reflect on everything and look at how things have changed? If it did change, or you're still just, locked in and cracking on as normal.
No, yeah, like face value, my life hasn't, besides like the business, my life still hasn't changed. Like I still am in the same room I was 8 months ago. I still live with this same people. I still cut off, like I basically cut off my friends still as well, like 8 months ago as well. So I haven't talked to any new people. Well, I've talked to more people in the program and networked as well. Um, so you could say that that's a big difference. But like in terms of like I still have big goals, like to eventually scale. Our goal is to get to 50K by the next coming months. We don't have an exact time frame on it, but we're trying to scale with paid ads. And it's like, yeah, it's just the thing where I guess you don't have a satisfaction in where you currently are. Like when we hit 10K per month, I was like, oh, we should have done that. Like it wasn't like, oh my gosh, it was a big celebration. Because I was already the person, like I was the person capable of making 10K, so it wasn't surprising to me. Um, and it's gonna be the same when I get a 50 and on and on. So I think my life, like to an eventual point though, I'm gonna be making more money than both my parents combined. And so like that kind of buys you freedom, right? Like the financial aspect of it. But besides that, like I think to find fulfillment in like what you actually do, I think I'm still working on that. Um, and to like, I guess have a point where I'm passionate about what I'm doing for a living and I guess uh you could say like taking yourself out of the business and then I want to be able to work on something like else besides the agency, and I still don't know what that looks like. So I think it's still in progress for me, like personally, to get to that point.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, for sure. With the business, that's the thing. Many people think that they need to be attached to their agency forever, when actually
Yeah,
you can just use it as a cash cow, like similar to you, where you don't necessarily need to find fulfillment in the business itself. You don't need to force it, but you can systemize it to a point where it gives you that freedom to pursue whatever you want to pursue, and find fulfillment in whatever it is that you do enjoy. So yeah, yeah, good to know that, and that you're still locked in, and you want more because usually
yeah.
people settle, man. So yeah, you want to get to 50K. That's great stuff. Um, how does your business currently look, Elijah, in terms of your team members, the way of delivering, and how do you want it to look as you progress towards your next goal of 50K?
Yeah, so we've actually just finished building a call center, like our call center system. We bought a program and help with that. So we currently have one ISA to be calling our client leads. Um, but in terms of like team, like that's really all we have who we have hired. Um, as of right now, it's mainly my brother and I doing the cold calls, sales calls. It's me doing the service delivery. Um, but we're looking to in the next few months obviously scale with paid ads, probably hire more ISA members to call our leads because we're going to be getting more clients. um Eventually also hire a sales team whenever we're like it's basically with paid ads we're going to be paying for appointments, and then we have to have a sales rep to actually handle the appointments, and then we'll be signing clients like on autopilot. um Still got to get to that point though. But I guess in terms of like where we're currently at, yeah, it's mainly just I'm still working heavily in the business, doing the day-to-day operation stuff. But yeah, that's kind of where we at currently.
Yeah, good stuff, man. Time to scale up and slowly remove yourself from the process. So yeah,
Yeah.
top work. So as we sort of approach the end of this interview, Elijah, naturally there's going to be two groups of people that watch this. The first of which is just current students, and the second of which is obviously new people that are probably on the fence about joining the program. For current students, from your 7 to 8 months of being with us, what would you say to these guys in terms of your key lessons that you've learned that's needed to achieve the success that you've achieved, for example, in the program? This would be useful to anyone new that's joined, as well as just students that are currently struggling. What would you say to them?
Take imperfect action. There's going to be so many times in your agency when you're trying to it depends who you are, but for me there's so many times trying to perfect the process like I said earlier in the interview. But if you just take consistent, persistent, imperfect action day to day and then improve on your actions. Like my brother and I, we have a mantra: inputs and improvements. Inputs and improvements every day, inputs and improvements, input. We just do the actions and then improve on those inputs. I'd say just, yeah, just take imperfect action, worry about failing later. Once you fail, work to actually be better from your mistakes. I'd say that's my advice.
Yeah, great advice, man. Yeah, because a lot of students sometimes they just get stuck in analysis paralysis, and they just fail to fail, they just fail to get that rejection on cold calls. They fail to have a sales call and it go wrong. They failed, they're afraid, sorry, to fail when it comes to so many different things, but it's part of success. So that's great advice. And to those people that aren't part of the program yet, Elijah, and they're probably on the fence, what would you say to those individuals that are probably thinking about moving with the program, but they just haven't pulled the trigger on it for whatever reason?
Honestly, I take the time to think about more about what you want. and like your goals. Because really, like we're all doing this to achieve some sort of like mission or purpose or long-term goal or short-term goal. I I think, I mean, I'd tell you to buy the program too because it's literally life-changing, but at the same time, like I want to be able to give some, I guess, uh practical advice when it comes to just like knowing what you want. I just think that's just the first step in any endeavor for self-improvement business. Just like know what you want. That's it really. And then obviously buy the program, do what you need to do to get to that goal. But that's kind of all I have to say.
Yeah, love it. Have full clarity on what you actually want. Um, and then if this perhaps is a business model that can get you to what you want, like Elijah has, for example, then the program would be a perfect fit for you guys. Provided that you are willing to work and you are willing to, fail. If you want a magic pill where it's instant success and it's no losses, no failures, that pill doesn't exist from my understanding. If it does, let us know and we'll happily somehow implement it into the program. But yeah, man, that's great advice. That's great advice, Elijah. Appreciate it, man. And yeah, before we sort of wrap this interview up, where can people find you, man?
Yeah, just I have a trying to build our YouTube channel actually right now. Actually, I'll probably just plug my IG. I think it'll just be my IG. I'll put it in the chat. Ekim underscore world. Ekim underscore world on IG. Put it in the chat.
Sweet. And we'll just add that to the description of the video if you guys are watching it on YouTube, so you can check out Elijah and just continue to follow his story and all that good stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the interview. So to everyone that's watching, really appreciate your time here. I hope you found this one valuable. Again, Elijah joined on last July. It's March now, 17 years old, dropped out of high school, went all in. He's at 11K per month now, and he's got his brother working with him, he's got his mum working with him. And it's amazing to see what he's achieved. And there's no reason why, you guys can't do the exact same, especially some of you guys out there who may think your age is an issue. Elijah here, just like Cameron as well, is like living proof that you can do it. So yeah, hopefully you found this interview valuable. Be sure to check the other ones out. And yeah, I'm gonna leave you guys to it. Take care, guys. Peace.